Hey everybody, this is Dale.
And this is Eric.
And welcome to the Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
We can find it at optimusprimecast.com.
This week, episode number 11.
The Probe.
Written by Craig Miller and Marv Wolfman.
Directed by Ezekiel Norton.
The Maximals detect a Cybertronian probe and try to contact it.
Yeah, my alternate episode title is What in the Butt?
Oh dear. The Maximals get an anal probe.
So, we open up to a lot of exposition and some fancy shots.
No, we open. Yeah, well, some exposition, but some gorgeous shots.
Yeah, some... yes.
Okay, no, exciting,
They're
ridiculously exciting
shots.
When you're not trying to render rocks and water and stuff like that, and you just make gigantic steel buildings.
Let's talk about what happened, and then we'll go over what
we'll apologize later.
Yes. Okay, so we open up with lots of shots of Cybertron sending out probes and a narrator or a voice basically saying, "We don't know what happened to the Maximal ship.
Axalon, the transwarp ship.
The transwarp
Axalon.
ship. They might be lost in time and space. We're sending out probes right now.
We think they're in a different time zone.
Yes. Well, we're sending out probes right now. So how do they know the time zone? I understand time and space, transwarp drive, but honestly...
Well, they suspect.
Yes.
I mean, there you go.
I have a theory.
Go on.
I have a theory, and I'm going to expend oodles and oodles and oodles of resources and time and money to do something, take a look into something that I have no idea what's going on. That just doesn't make any sense.
No, I think that the thing is that they need them. Benevolent Maximals are benevolent, and when if one of their own is missing, they will go find them. Cybertron is not having a resource problem at this moment in history.
Okay.
The war for resources is happening.
It's just on the planet.
This strange primitive world.
Yeah.
Where the Predicons and Maximals, just these 11,
now
have to have this fight.
The Cybertronians.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like Predicon and Maximals. I understand mammals and predators.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that type of thing. But what do they call themselves on Cybertron?
No! They're still Maximals and Predicons.
So Autobots and Decepticons, they just kind of fell away.
Those are their ancestors.
Oh, okay.
The Autobots and Decepticons are the ancestors of the Maximals and the Predicons. There's the Maximal Predicon thing is not really a reference directly to animals or anything like that. And in fact, the word Predicon is a G1 throwback. Yeah.
Well, I stand corrected then.
The original Predicons were a series of combiners, just like Devastator was was all of the construction ones that turned into and the Predicons turned into Predaking.
Okay.
Yeah, there were 5 of them, and then there were the aerial bots, which turned into, I don't know what they turned into. I forget what they combined into, but there was a series of combiners, and Predaking was made up of Predicons.
Okay.
And then that word just carried on, became the new political party.
Okay.
Because the Decepticons lost the Great War.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll roll out on that then. I'll deal with that.
No need to roll out.
All right.
No need to roll out.
Okay, that is fact.
We can accept it.
Right,
We can exist within that. However, from time to time, we are going to make mistakes.
Yeah, all right.
And last week, I thought that we were going to have a different episode than we had this week. So I'm sorry if I got you all excited, and then you all went and watched this episode and then had the same reaction that I did. And we're like, oh, it's the probe, but not the one that I thought.
That one.
And also the setup for the one that I thought is a different thing than the one that I thought. So, sorry. But this episode is this episode. Getting back to it.
So after this big shot of beautifully shot space scenes of Cybertron sending out probes and everything else, we kind of fade back into Planet Mystery X Earth ?
Strange primitive planet.
A strange primitive planet. And basically everyone's
they're on a walk.
Yeah,
they're on a nature hike. For a second, I thought that they might have been walking home from the explosion of the Darksyde from the last episode, but no. Optimus Primal had already been in bed and recuperated.
Yeah.
So this is later.
Yeah, this is later. They just decided to go nice stroll. after dinner. It's what you do.
Yeah, looks like it's next week, and we have to keep the series going. So let's not make any permanent changes to the status quo.
And then all of a sudden, like the Cheetor and Rat Trap kind of bust into a race. Last one home.
Yeah, last one home is Predicon.
Predicon Chow.
Pred Chow. Yeah, Predicon Chow.
And they start taking off. So we learn here when this happens that Optimus Primal is kind of a jerk to Dinobot.
To Dinobot?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because so Cheetor and Rat Trap take off.
Yeah, they're having their
fun. They go ahead and take off. Optimus Primal then transforms. And then flies after them. Yeah. And with his jets.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
To teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
About
awareness.
Awareness and not separating from the pack.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He leaves Dinobot to go chase after the other two, which leaves Dinobot alone, leaving Dinobot susceptible to attack. And then he stops them and says, "Hey guys, pay attention here. You guys are chasing around. I could have easily been like the age-old adage. You know what? I could have been something worse that I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I could have done something. Yeah, but you know what?
But you weren't.
You know what? You weren't. All right. But
you weren't, and we're all fine.
Yeah.
We didn't, and they still didn't attack us. So deal with it.
But yeah, so
well, we do learn that Optimus Primal is not only more of a badass than any of the other bots on the Maximal side, but he's also faster.
Yeah. And like Cheetor being, one of the fastest on the ground or whatever. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true. He's fast because he was flying. He's using jets.
Yeah.
I mean, ground travel versus air travel. I don't know. All right, fine.
He's proven a point.
Whatever. But Rat Trap was able to keep up with Cheetor.
This is true. Yeah.
So obviously there's something going on there.
Yeah.
So so they get back to the Axalon.
Yes. Yeah, there's no what an uneventful walk they were on.
Yeah, they were just scoping stuff out, going for a walk. It was after dinner walk.
That's I guess. Yeah.
It's quite a nice evening for a walk. Let's go for a walk.
Oh, okay, fine.
All right. Well, tune in next week. We'll be back. We'll tail and take a walk. But yeah, so anyway, they get back to the Axalon. They meet up with Rhinox, who picks up a long-range signal.
Yeah, the long-range scanners are picking up a signal, and he's trying to figure out what the heck is going on, and he's trying to punch through the energon interference that we're catching off of the planet.
Yeah, and then we basically have kind of like an inside look onto the actual functions of the ship and what everyone actually did.
Yeah, we get to look at the crew doing science.
Yeah.
This is what they were all sent out here to do.
Yeah, so
Rhinox needs more juice, so Rat Trap jumps on a computer.
No.
What?
Rhinox wants to get a visual.
Oh,
so he gets Rat Trap to go and try to focus or do high definition scans of the area. Rat Trap needs more juice,
and he gets
Cheetor? He gets Cheetor to go and take over the controls to reroute power to the sensor array to go and try to see what they can find. And they find out that what we already know is that it's a Maximal probe. Now, what I really disliked about this is that the narrator in the beginning, we know that obviously the Maximals, back in Cybertron, we're going to try to look for, the Maximals that got lost.
Yes.
Why not have it be a reveal? Show the scenes. No dialogue. Show the scenes of all these things happening. The probes going into the wormhole. The probes showing up. And then Rhinox discovering, hey, we have something. What did they find? Is it the return of the mysterious probe that landed in the henge? What is going on? What is this? What is this technology and everything else? No, it's a Maximal probe. They're trying to find us. Then we share the excitement with the crew. We share everything with
you would have rather we didn't have the opening on Cybertron?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
So
all right, I could see that. I could see that being an effective device, but 10-year-old kids that didn't see The Godfather ain't gonna get it. What if you were late? What if you had karate practice that day and you missed the what was that episode?
I wasn't a rich kid. I wasn't a rich kid. I didn't have karate practice.
What if you were at your part-time job? What if you were at your part-time job working for your ramen money? Because you're a 10-year-old who still hasn't seen The Godfather because you're broke. And you don't have a VCR either, so you didn't tape Beast Wars, but you just... I'll forgive it. This episode does have some weaknesses, but it has some strengths too.
I mean, this is a retrospective podcast, Dale. We're looking at it with grown-up eyes. Grown-up eyes.
Yeah, we got some hindsight. I still appreciated the Cybertronian shots. I like seeing the planet.
I enjoyed the shots. I just think that they could have done it a lot better in the setup and everything else. So, the big motive here is to contact the probe.
Let's go home. Cybertron wants us back.
Yay!
Home? All right!
And he's like, can we reach him? Can we try? And then, of course, like, Rhinox is like, we could give it the old Maximal try.
Yep, and he
bring out the cheer squad.
yeah. He's so committed. And then, so they do they all combine their brain power to try to get?
They all try to reach out to the probe, and unfortunately,
they send the signal out, and we get to watch the signal fail.
Yeah, it fails. The probe does not respond, and it carries on.
You did your best, Rhinox. No one could have done more.
Mm-hmm. And they basically deduce that the fact that the probe is not looking for any type of communication. It's looking for the transwarp signature of the ship that was missing.
Mm-hmm. But the transwarp drive hasn't worked since they crashed on this rock.
Yes.
So they should try to duplicate their transwarp signature, shoot that up in the sky because this probe should make a second pass before it returns back to Cybertron.
Absolutely. It needs to go through the system and come back. Now, here is where everything that I was saying kind of before about like the discs and what they could be and everything else, and our argument before about the landmasses. We see Saturn.
Okay.
It's Saturn.
I didn't
the probe passes by like as it moves on. There's a shot of it. It's going.
You were looking for things that I wasn't looking for. Yeah, go on.
Yes. There are things in this episode that are more than meets the eye.
Yeah, see,
they
okay.
are.
All right. So tell me about Saturn, Eric.
So the probe passes by Saturn. Mm-hmm. The crew goes and starts building this transmission device, building to transmit this transwarp signature. We have Primal goes and contacts Tigertron to keep watch while they're going ahead and building this antenna, this array, and everyone is kind of going, oh, it's going to be great to be going home. And Tigertron, who doesn't recall anything, is like, I wonder if Cybertron's going to have this beautiful air and natural landscape.
I wonder if Cybertron can match such natural beauty.
It's like, no, dude, it's not.
No, it's
not. It's not going to have any of it. And everyone's like all like rose-tinted glasses about how great it's going to be being back home. And we see basically Tigertron and Dinobot not necessarily wanting to go.
Yes, Dinobot doesn't want to go home.
Yeah, and so while this is all going on, Tigertron actually spots Waspinator.
But are we not going to talk about Saturn?
Well, that was just.
You were just excited?
It was just a shot of Saturn. It was like Saturn.
Oh, you were just excited about Saturn?
It was Saturn.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me something about like how the landmasses would have lined up depending on the time of day and the probe going in a certain direction. I was waiting for you to try to prove to me that it was South America again, but okay. That's what I thought there was going. But then
if only you could see the look that I'm giving Dale. But no, Saturn. It's Saturn. The rings are made out of ice particles that have gathered in a
you're
orbit.
proving which solar system we're in at least. Okay. All right. Might be Mars.
Okay. All right. We will get to that, mister. I have a nugget for you as well.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, so Tigertron goes and finds Waspinator. Waspinator's flying in, and then he's like, well, I'm tired. Waspinator, of course, going through his own monologue.
No matter what Megatron said, Waspinator is tired of searching for Maximals.
Oh, yeah.
Waspinator's better than doing this.
So Tigertron has some snappy quip for him, doesn't he?
He's like, oh, you should be paying more attention to your job. And then jumps out, shoots Waspinator.
What is that, Tom Selleck? Is that the voice you're doing?
I have no idea. So
Tigertron gets a jump on him.
Gets a jump on him, shoots Waspinator, blows off like his wing. Like you kind of see it like just kind of
you saw the wing flap away.
Yeah, and it's like, man.
Poor Waspinator.
It's like, dude. And he's like, oh, is that it? Is that what this is all about? And then all of a sudden he hears from behind him.
His job was bait.
For my trap?
No.
For,
no, he's like, he was just bait. And then Tiger's on, are you the trap?
Oh, yeah. He's like, yeah.
He's like, no.
No, it's a test.
He's like, test?
What are you going to test? My new toy.
Big shiny object.
Mm-hmm. And then we cut.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We cut to the Maximals going ahead and
Doing more construction.
yeah.
Yeah, manual labor. Doing some peaceful things.
There's a little bit more discussion between Dinobot and the rest of the Maximals about his reluctance to kind of.
This is touching. This is real.
Yeah.
This is something that's real. Dinobot, Rat Trap has a problem with Dinobot having a problem about going back to Cybertron.
Hey, what's biting your senses, Dino Boob? You act like you don't want to get off of this dirtball.
And Dinobot explains to him that, listen, man, like, you guys are all excited to go back home, but I'm not.
You're so eager to go home, but your home is not mine. I am Predicon despite our alliance. And when your ship comes to rescue you, my fate will be the same as Megatron's.
He's really worried about that.
And if you look at it from like a personal standpoint, like, I mean, he basically he's made a good life here.
Mm-hmm.
Like he
He's
has
on
his
the
routines.
team.
He's
Yeah.
on the team. He has a position of respect among the Maximals at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's proven himself. He has gotten to grow and for lack of a better word, love his teammates, and he's invested. And if the overall theme is the fear of change, like, why would I want to risk giving this up? Why would I want something to change and possibly throw a wrench and take all this away from me?
Is that better than what I've got?
Yeah.
If we win this war and are stranded here, it would be a good life. Yeah, I could see Dinobot wanting that, and you got to feel for him because, like, the thing is, he is part of the crew that stole the golden discs.
Yeah.
That started this whole thing. So he is still liable for prosecution.
Yeah, he could still be brought up on charges in regards to the actual stealing of discs and the uprising in general.
So it might not be. It's not really a free ride home to a good, safe life. But he doesn't necessarily say that he'll be seen as a Predicon. He says he is a Predicon. He claims ownership of that, which I found to be another thing that was like neat and meaningful in a different way, because the Predicons are just a different political party.
Okay.
He still has those beliefs. He still has aggressive beliefs of glory through conquest. He is fighting on the Maximal side in this war because he is at odds with the rogue group of Predicons led by Megatron.
But I kind of disagree with you on that point, because so much has changed up to this point, in which with starting off with Dinobots defecting and everything that he's learned. I mean, even more so to the point, last episode. Like, his views have completely changed. Like, to the extent where he was deciding to pick up the torch of Optimus Primal's role when Optimus Primal was bat poop crazy.
Yeah, I would say that. Well, yeah, what it is, it's somebody with a very specific worldview, coming to respect and understand the necessity of an opposing worldview to bring balance. This is a if he went into politics, he'd be somebody who was willing to work with people across the aisle.
All right, we're going to get into this huge political discussion. Cybertronian politics.
Oh, man, Cybertronian politics is heavy.
I know. That's another podcast.
Okay.
So while that is going on, and while we have this like little discussion, all of a sudden the others start hearing the fire, the gunfire, or weapons fire, basically generated from Tigertron, as he's trying to fight with this mysterious orb, and shooting Waspinator. So then
after Waspinator, it's Tarantulas he's fighting with.
Well, I mean, he shoots Waspinator.
Yeah.
And then he's shooting at this probe.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
this
guess that
thing.
it's kind of set up to be simultaneous.
Yeah, it's all kind of happening at the same time.
Yeah. So they send Cheetor to investigate?
Yeah, they send Cheetor to investigate. And we cut back, and basically this thing is following Tigertron. It's shooting these weird beams at him.
It's like Luke Skywalker and that target thing that's shooting at him.
Yeah, I can see that. But eventually, Well, Tarantulas was kind of egging him on. I was like, yes, go ahead. Keep on playing with it. Eventually, you'll tire out. He'll get you. And I don't know why I started to sound like Revolver Ocelot, but that's what ends up happening.
Yeah.
And then eventually he gets hit. He gets hit by one of these beams, and he's forced to transform into beast mode.
He gets hit with the beam, and then he ends up in beast mode.
And he's stuck in beast mode.
Yeah, and then he tries to maximize. Can't do it.
No, he can't. But rather than, run away and be fast running, faster than a spider.
Yes.
Or this floating thing.
Thingy, yeah.
He just stands there.
Yeah.
Following the tried and true method of just, it's going to happen.
This is what's happening right now. It all happened so fast. He's confused. He's like, what the heck is going on here?
So then Tarantulas...
Cheetor shows up.
Well, Tarantulas maximizes.
And then
terrorizes. It terrorizes, and then
shoots him with
nets
a web.
him.
Yep. Gets him in a web, and now Tigertron is stuck.
Rip my gears and call me a fool?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tigertron is stuck. Is this when Cheetor shows up?
Yes, this is when Cheetor shows up.
Yay, Cheetor! Save the day! Hercules!
And, Cheetor just basically just...
Does he do anything useful?
No. Okay. We have Tigertron dipping and dodging.
Doing really cool stuff.
Yeah, he's following the 5 Ds of dodgeball. Dip, dash, dart, dart, something, and dodge, dodge, which is, yeah. Anyway, look him up.
Yeah. And then Cheetor gets it.
Yeah, and Cheetor gets hit. Like, he jumps up. He's like, all right, what's going on here? And then he immediately gets zapped, transforms into the beast mode. He's like, wait, maximize. Wait, this isn't working either. And then he gets netted. So they get captured.
All hail Tarantulas.
all hail Tarantulas. They get captured. They get brought back to the Darksyde, and are caged at that point.
Yes. Before then, Scorponok is spying on the Maximals, and he gets footage, some pretty awesome black and white security camera footage.
Yes.
Of the Maximals building their thing, and then he gives the footage to Pterosaur to go show to Megatron so that they can come up with a plan.
Megatron must know. Take this to him immediately. I'll keep an eye on the Maximals.
And then we see Uranus.
Really?
Yeah. We cut to a shot of the probe passing by Uranus.
Oh, okay.
And you know it's Uranus because there's the ring and it's tilted on its side. It's not normally, North and South Pole. It spins on its side.
Okay.
Yeah, Uranus is the only unique planet that actually spins on the opposite axis, or the like a 90-degree angle axis than on any of the other planets in our solar system. The thought and theory is that it was victim of a strike, either a meteor strike or some body struck it and knocked it off its axis and continued to spin the way that it is. So it's spinning on its side versus up and down.
Freaky.
Like a top.
Oh.
Anyway.
You got it, yeah.
So we have Uranus and we have Saturn.
Science!
And then it cuts back to, after seeing the probe, it cuts back to Rhinox.
Oh, Rhinox?
Rhinox. In the Maximal base, viewing what appears to be a Pride Wave scanner.
Yeah, rainbow signal. Yeah.
Rainbow signal to analyze their transwarp drive signature.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's the Pride flag.
Yeah, yeah.
Just waving there.
It's
in
waving
3D.
there.
Yeah, glorious 3D.
Waving and waving in a waveform. But yeah,
he's
so
developing the right signal.
Yeah,
so
he's like, I hope I can
job.
get this in time. He's trying to rush through it, and because
he feels bad.
Yeah, because
he feels like he blew it at the beginning of the show.
It's his fault. Bad Rhinox.
I blame Rhinox.
It is his fault.
Yep.
Everything is his fault.
Stupid fat fingers.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's like his job while the others are building this
the tower.
The tower, he needs to get the actual signature, the generator ready so he could bring it to the tower and have it sent out. And then we cut to Megatron, who's like, "Oh, I'm not having any of this."
So it's Megatron and the spiders hanging out with Tigatron and Cheetor. And Black Arachnia says, "Why don't you ask the obviously younger and dumber one?
Yeah,
what's going on here?" And Cheetor says that I ain't gonna talk. Mega Dope,
yeah,
or something like that. He has some kind of silly name to
really
call
bad
Megatron.
thing.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask him yourself, Mega Dumb?
And then Tarantulas sees the probe on his scanner.
Yeah,
and
it's just an object has been found, or a vessel has been found pulling into orbit or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then Cheetor is like, "Oh, the probe!
Oh, the probe!"
It's like, "Oh, so it's a probe."
and then, like, from that one word, Megatron deduces the entirety of the plot.
Yeah, rewind the entire thing of like the narrative and setting out the probes. Oh, well, they must have sent out a probe. Oh, they must be trying to build some type of antenna because their transwarp drive is down. Mm. Oh,
I won't let them do this. No, and then so Cheetor feels stupid.
It's like, oh,
yeah,
I didn't mean to talk.
Yeah, but Tigatron comforts him, saying they would have found out anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they would have found out maybe like a month later, and we would still be home. But you know, it's all right. They would have eventually gotten to it. You just helped them along a little bit faster.
But Tigatron's looking on the bright side because of the new information. Megatron tells the spiders to pack up. We're going to go on a full frontal assault.
Yes.
So they leave.
Yep.
And Tigatron's like, but look, we're guarded.
Unguarded?
Yeah, we're unguarded. No, that was last episode with the flower and the Dinobot. And then he starts swinging his cage that's hanging from a chain.
Yeah, he actually
I'm disappointed that the Darksyde wasn't all banged up from the explosion from last episode.
Yeah, well,
it's been a week. They had time to fix it, I guess.
We don't really know. It may have been a week, it may be a month. You know,
yeah.
We're in between episodes. We're being like kind of hinted at other missions and stuff like that. We don't really have a definitive timeline in between episodes.
This is true.
But yeah, Tigatron's definitely like, start swinging, cat.
Yeah, he says you always say you're a swinging cat.
Yeah,
so start swinging.
Start swinging.
When has Cheetor ever said he's a swinging cat?
Yeah,
must be on those side missions that we haven't seen.
Well, let's face it. Like Cheetor's more of a hair metal guy.
Yeah,
he's not into jazz. He's not into bebop. No, he's not into swinging. No. And let's face it, he's not in a relationship to do any other type of form of swinging. So
yeah, because the other cheetahs aren't into him.
PG cast, everyone. PG.
Yeah.
It was PG-13 maybe.
So they start swinging their cages.
And then eventually they were able to knock into each other and free themselves.
Did they do that right away? That happens a little bit later. What happens before that?
I'm terribly sorry. So Scorponok was the first on the scene to meet up with the Maximals and figure out what to do. And we have the second successful ambush. Almost.
Kind of. I mean, well, the thing is, Scorponok comes out and he starts. Does he get anybody?
No, he just starts shooting blindly, basically. Everyone's like, "Oh, hit the deck!" and everyone starts shooting back. And then
Rat Trap shoots his hand off.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Blows it completely off. There's a moment where he's like sitting there going, "Ah!"
Yeah, Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Give me back my hand!
My hand!
and then Dinobot shoots.
Pulls out the laser eyes.
Does he do the laser eyes?
Laser eyes.
Blows them away
back.
And now Scorponok is gone. And then Rat Trap and Dinobot share a thumbs up moment. They
Yeah.
look at each other and give each other a thumbs up. They have an understanding.
Yeah.
Rat Trap doesn't have any hard feelings toward Dinobot for not wanting to go home. And they did promise him that they would make sure that he got a hero's welcome.
Yeah.
And that they would protect him and they wouldn't let him be treated poorly.
Yeah.
When they got rescued.
So this is where Cheetor and Tigatron break free. Tigatron is able.
Is it right then?
Yeah. Well, after the sequence of the fight, because I mean the other Predicons start chiming in, and then the fight kind of goes on.
Yeah, you're right.
In the background of the scene. But then it cuts to Cheetor and Tigatron breaking out of their cages.
Yeah, they ram their cages into each other. The bottoms fall out, and they're over a lava pit, and that sucks.
Yeah, but Tigatron's able to successfully get to
Tigatron. He's super smooth.
Yeah, he's like, bro,
he's a
I got
smooth
this.
Guy. Yeah,
and of course Cheetor, because he's the inexperienced kid. Yeah,
yep.
he just plummets to his death.
Yeah, that's the end of the show. See you next. See you guys next week.
The probe, Death of Cheetor.
Yep. So, but Tigatron catches him by his tail.
Yeah, and then
in his mouth. God, that must hurt.
Yeah, and then pulls him up, and then Cheetor's like, "I guess that's another good use for that, or that's another good use."
I knew this had to be good for something other than swatting flies.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, that's your gun.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's your butt gun. That's your gun storage.
I know, man. I don't know.
No respect for his own anatomy there.
Yeah, and then we cut to Luna. It's the name of the moon, dude.
Okay.
Don't look at me in that tone of voice, Dale.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So maybe we're okay.
The probe passes by because we're getting closer to the time where they need to contact the probe.
Yeah, they're running out of time.
The probe is circling back.
I
through
didn't
the
even
system.
think about that thing. Those shots as cueing me to start feeling urgency.
Okay.
For Rhinox to finish his job.
Science, Dale. Science.
Man.
But yeah, so you see Luna. That is the moon. So I call it. This is Earth.
Okay.
No more Earth ? No, this is Earth. Period. Or Earth ! ! Or Earth, I told you so, Dale. Period.
Strange primitive planet.
Yes. So we're either talking early Earth or post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic second moon Earth.
Hey, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck,
Then it's a racist.
Okay, and then after that shot, Rhinox goes in and hightails it over to the hightails it over to the other guys, and we see this horrific fight scene. And not horrific as in like body parts and all this other stuff, but it's just horribly directed.
It ends much worse than it begins.
Yeah, and
this is when, but what happens in it is really important.
What happens in it
the
is
direction
important.
of the main body of the fight is, it doesn't matter because of what happens during it. Because the first thing that happens, Pterosaur comes up. Megatron and the spiders are there. Megatron has a mouth laser.
I didn't catch that.
He has a mouth laser in his hand. Well, not his face mouth, but
Sure, it's not halitosis.
No, it's his Tyrannosaurus Rex head was
Okay.
shooting a laser out of it. I was like, I don't think we had that before.
I don't think so either.
Megatron needs a gun. If he's not going to be a gun, he needs one. So that was one thing that struck me as something that I don't think that we've seen yet. But Dinobot gets it from the Tarantulas toy.
Yeah, the
from
Tarantulas
the
toy.
what is it called? Is it some? I don't know what it's called. I didn't catch the name of it.
I don't think it was mentioned because I didn't catch the name of it.
Okay,
either.
yeah, it's some kind of a transformation disruptor. It stops them from being able to transform.
Oh, I forgot. After Cheetor and Tigertron escape,
They got to go find the.
they're like, "Hey, where's
the med bay? We got to
where's
get
the med
fixed.
bay? Let's get fixed."
Yeah.
And not like snip
Not
them and
spayed or
tuck them.
neutered,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's but honestly, spay and neuter your pets, guys. But yeah, so Megatron goes and this big fight scene ensues. We have really, really horrible effects here.
Yeah, a little. Yeah.
Dinobot gets nailed. Tries to transform. He can't.
Rat Trap.
Follows up. He's like, "I got you." He's like giving cover fire. He's like, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" I don't know what's going on.
He gets Black
and then
Arachnia.
He gets. Yeah.
First, he gets Black Arachnia. He's shooting her in the body and pushing her backwards a bunch. And it's like, well, how much are you going to do this? And then he gets her in the face, and that pushes her off of a cliff.
Yeah, pushes her off the cliff.
And then, that's when he gets.
Then
got.
he checks on Dinobot, and that's when he gets hit. Optimus Primal.
Oh yeah. when Rat Trap gets got and he can't transform, he says, "Oh no!" And then Megatron says, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
Big Arcee moment here.
Yeah, Kool-Aid, the Kool-Aid man.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
And then Tarantulas versus Optimus. There is something about Tarantulas' torso that Optimus Primal does not like.
Yeah, so Tarantulas kind of charges Optimus. Optimus then goes and just jams his arm cannon into the midsection of Tarantulas and just
shoots
completely
a hole.
just blows it right through him. You see there's a shot of like a hole opening up on his back and it's smoking. And it's just like, oh my gosh, this is just freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Man.
And then he shoots him again.
Yeah.
So he shoots a hole in him, and he shoots him again, and that gets rid of Tarantulas.
Yeah, it gets rid of him. And then Optimus Primal gets hit.
Yep. All hail Megatron.
Turns in a hit.
The war's over. All hail Megatron.
Yeah. So everyone's pretty much taken out, and nobody's around to defend this thing again. Which I don't understand because they're still in beast form. Like they're in beast form, and none of them have been netted at this point.
Yeah.
Why can't they fight
Dinobot,
in beast form?
Well, yeah.
They were
Dinobot
fighting in beast form over the big Energon Mountain in the first episode or second episode.
Yeah, but Rat Trap and Dinobot were obviously in some sort of peril when Megatron says, "Oh yes." I think he gets him. He might have knocked him out, done something. Something must have happened there because they're taken out of the picture.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
I'll let that slide.
yeah, he says, "Oh yes." He's excited.
When doesn't he say, "Oh yes"?
When he
when
says, "Oh,
doesn't
no."
he say yes?
When he says
or
no.
anything? Well, I know he says no, but he says it so often it loses meaning.
Yeah. So, but and the Megatron shoots a missile.
Well, yeah, Megatron's
Right.
like, okay, I got this now. He shoots a missile at the antenna array.
Mm-hmm. And Optimus Primal plays baseball with it.
Plays baseball with it, and then we have a glitch in the rendering
Matrix.
software, and this shot of Optimus Primal batting away this missile happens like 8 times.
Yeah. That was gratuitous. We didn't need that. It was bad enough when, you know what? It was more tasteful when Rhinox was escaping that one explosion and we see it 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's saying, "No, no, no."
Yeah, I mean, but this, I mean, the way that they shot it,
it was not.
It
good.
was like so sporadic, repeating itself. It honestly looked like, I mean, if you,
It looked like something
it
went
was
wrong.
a skipping. It was like like that, and that's how often it was like hitting it. And I was like, why? No, why would you do that? I understand if you hit it, follow through, hit it, follow through, but it's not. It was I don't know. It was just disgusting. It was bad.
It was bad. That was a bad shot. Followed up pretty soon by the second bad shot.
bad on you, Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Bad on you.
Can't win them all.
Nope.
Then Rhinox shows up in the nick of time.
Yeah, he's like,
Because even then, that Optimus Primal ends up pinned under something. He ends up pinned under like the same thing he was swinging.
yeah, like it's really
Or
pathetic.
hit. He's damaged somehow. I'm not exactly sure when it happened. It happened.
He's
during
laying
the glitch.
there.
Yeah, he lays down because he's now.
Yeah, he's laying there after he hits and bats away that thing. Megatron was trying to finish him off, and then Rhinox comes up behind him and shoots Megatron to take him kind of out of the picture.
Okay, and he
temporarily.
just can't get up.
Yeah, he can't get up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's falling and can't get up. The Rhinox goes over to the antenna array. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get this going. He goes, he enters in some of the codes. He has the
Little disc, little floppy
the
disk.
floppy disk that he's going to enter in that has the actual transwarp signature. He's about to enter it, and
Rhinox gets got.
Prime is like, no, wait, Rhinox. He's like, no, I need to do this, and he gets zapped by the thing. Turns into a rhino,
And
swallows his head.
he's got no fingers.
He's got no fingers.
He's got no fingers, so he can't do the thing with the code. He can't put it in anymore.
The disc drops down on the floor.
He's
He
like,
picks
no,
up
I
his
need
mouth.
opposable thumbs.
Yeah, and he just drops it right in front of Prime. He's like, you need to do this now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you got fingers.
You got
fingers.
Because you have hair.
Yeah, and then now he's still having trouble getting up.
Yeah, he's still having
He's
trouble
still
getting
having
up.
trouble getting
he
up.
grabs the thing. He's trying to, get up closer to the thing.
And since Megatron is so unbelievably fast, which we learned a couple of weeks ago, he's made his way back by now, and he does it. He blows up the array,
and
then we have our other bad shot.
And the probe, the antenna array blows up
About 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shot
there's
of Prime and Rhinox.
Looks like a music video for a second with Prime and Rhinox being blasted away from the explosion.
Yeah, and
the close up of Megatron's head laughing.
Yeah, it was like, okay, is this supposed to be like a nightmare sequence? Is this supposed to be a dream
Yeah, it
sequence?
felt like that, didn't it? It felt like it was like all of a sudden not
like,
real.
is this a joke?
Yeah.
Like you were completely taken out of the situation, out of the scene, out of the feel of what is actually happening on with this one freaking fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the heck, Ezekiel?
Yeah.
Like, really? I don't know. And
Yeah.
so the thing goes up.
It takes us out of it, but Megatron has totally squashed this Maximal plan.
Yeah.
Totally squashed. All hail Megatron.
Yeah, and he's about to finish them off. So he goes up and pulls up to them, and he's like, "Oh, that's it. You know, I'm gonna end this."
Mm-hmm.
And
Tigertron and Cheetor.
Tigertron and Cheetor show
Butt
up.
cannons ahoy!
Well, the funny thing is that Cheetor has a different butt cannon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he does have a whole pile of them.
But when did he get a chance to swap them out?
I'm really not sure, but his action figure did come with 2 different guns.
That he stored in the butt, both of them?
One's on his butt. I think the other is in his stomach or something like that. But yeah,
Okay.
they're around.
All right. Well, I mean,
They're both gross.
All right. he has this other cannon. Tigertron has the standard butt gun.
Yeah.
And they start shooting and fend off everyone.
They destroy the transformation suppressor.
They destroy the
that's a good
transformation suppressor. Everyone runs away. Megatron leaves.
Megatron says that the Beast Wars will end
on his terms.
On his
basically.
terms when he is the victor.
Yeah.
Until then, nobody's leaving.
And then that's pretty much it. It ends on a really bad down note. The probe ventures off through the system and then disappears into a wormhole, I guess, to return back to Cybertron.
As credits roll.
As credits roll, yeah.
Man, I love that.
I
love the ending. The end of the episode, not necessarily the direction of it, but the content of it. There was some stuff about this episode that was really awesome. Some stuff about the direction, some of the shots, those explosions, maybe the swinging cat thing that were kind of, I guess, dumb, but like the Dinobot monologue.
Yeah.
The introspective Dinobot is introspective was a really awesome bit of storytelling.
I think Miller and Wolfman hit it.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 writers on this episode. I think they did a really great job of piecing it together. Unfortunately, I just think that it really fell short when it comes to directing and actually getting it on the screen.
Yeah.
Because it had the potential to be so great.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many different scenes and events within the scenes that took me out of it.
Yeah.
Probe arrived, the narration in the beginning, okay, I understand why they chose to do it. I don't agree with it. They could have done it better. When they were trying to contact the probe or find out what the probe was, we had Rat Trap. It seemed like it was like 8 hours for Rat Trap to sit into his chair and move up to the console. Yeah. When it got down to, I think it was Rat Trap or Cheetor, and able to find out what that probe was, there's this shot where one of them spins around in a circle in their chair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, really, okay, I understand they're excited, but like the animation for that scene, the way that it was put together, it just was stupid and took me out of it.
You would have rather they took it very, very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And,
Mm-hmm.
there's
one of the things about the
excitement,
last
but
episode.
just
They
reserved
took it
stuff.
so seriously.
And there's a way to make it, show that they're really excited, but there's also a way to kind of curb it back so it's not as cartoony and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with this episode. This episode is a very important episode. This episode showcases so many different aspects that we did not even bother to think of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? At what point up until this? Up until this episode, did we ever think that Cybertron was really going to get back to him? We were going to believe that the war was going to end on this planet, and then that's how it's going to play out.
You don't even need it.
And then at the end of the series, now they go home. It's like the quantum leap thing. Going back from thing to thing. Okay, you don't expect that until the very end of the episode where they actually get home and everything's hunky dory. So I mean, there's all this setup, the cuts with the fight scenes and all this other stuff just kind of took me out of it and ruined it for me. Yeah. I completely agree with you and believe that the ending was powerful, that this story could have been more. There was a lot of setup and showing where this planet was and kind of the importance of this probe and the timeline in this episode versus other episodes where you don't really have kind of like a ticking clock going. Yeah. But he just ruined it. Ezekiel ruined it.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't hold onto itself. It wasn't cohesive enough. And yeah, the direction is really where we failed this week. But having said that, and I agree with everything that you said. But keeping in mind that learning about Dinobot's inner thought process.
Absolutely.
Learning about the way that different characters feel about things. Tigertron having mixed feelings about going home. Megatron in his obstinance. He is stranded on this planet too. Who's to say that he can't? What could have been if a rescue mission had been sent. Would they send the whole fleet? You know, would it be a big battle? How outnumbered would he have been, and could he have done something different? You know, how much of it is his obstinance? But you know, regardless of that, the fact that he wins at the end.
Yeah.
How often do we see that? You don't see that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And
I'm gonna reference American cartoons. This is an American cartoon. We don't see that.
Yeah, and to
it's
reference
plot of the week.
To reference the point that you made earlier with Ash and Evil Dead, like, I mean, one of my absolute favorite endings of, like, Army of Darkness, the third Evil Dead movie, is the bad ending. Like, Ash does not get a break. He does not go home. He does not return to S-Mart and shoot up the crazy lady, the witch lady, and do the Hail to the King thing. No, he oversleeps. He overshoots it. He gets it wrong. He doesn't get the happy ending. Like, that is one of my absolute favorites, just because cinematically, story-wise, it fits the character. It fits everything else. It fits the mood. And it really draws you into the story as a whole. What's the word I'm looking for? In any case, the ending commits you to the story. It commits you to what the gravitas of the situation is. It reminds you of where it all began, that they are stranded. You know, it's not just a resource war. It's not just a we're going to fight you or whatever. It's no, we're trying to get home. Here's a lifeboat. We just missed it. When are we going to get the opportunity? Is this probe ever going to come back? Yeah. You know? Boom.
Yeah, heavy.
Yeah.
Poorly shot, but heavy.
Yeah.
This was a good episode, despite its major flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, despite those flaws, you know, but I think that maybe it might be the type of thing again where it's like this is an important part of the series. If we look at it in a vacuum, the episode not so good.
Yeah.
But I really think that despite its flaws, it is a great piece of storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's making me even more excited about watching next week's episode.
I'm just feeling down, man.
Well, you should be. The Maximals were just defeated.
I know. I mean, coming off of such a high from last week, and then coming into this, it's just like,
yeah,
man.
we did have a. I think they are doing some balancing work.
Maybe,
you know,
yeah.
We had Megatron show up in one episode with not too much of a presence. We had Black Arachnia in the next one, and then in the next one we had a heavy Maximal, decidedly Maximal win. Something really a big success.
And it does balance it out.
And then this time we have the Maximals getting their hopes up and having them dashed away by a foe that is worth fearing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to see what happens next week then.
Yes, we will. But until then, I've been Dale.
And I've been Eric.
And you've been listening to the Transformers Beast Wars podcast,
which you can find at OptimusPrimecast.com.
Until next week, keep the faith, you guys. High five.
No high five, Dale. I'm too sad. All right, fine. I'll give you a high five.
Okay. We're all going to die.